Welcome to the Game Hacking Dojo. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make an invincibility script rather than an infinite health script. And I'm going to show you why an infinite health script would be useless in such a game. So, with that said, let's get started. Now, let me explain why an infinite health script wouldn't be so useful in such a game. So, as you remember, if you've watched my previous tutorial, we've seen that once we see what accesses this address, we find all these instructions accessing this particular address. And I believe that those instructions only access my health address and not anyone's health address. So why does that happen? So what we've done the last time is that we found one of these, this one. Okay, so what happened is, before the comparison, this this is our health address, and being compared to what's in the XMM7, and it's holding 0. So it's comparing whether we're dead or not. So if we check all of these instructions, they are actually doing the same thing. So to be invincible for real, and not die from height or something, or not die from explosion, then we have to do the same thing for each one of these instructions to get the invincibility effect or guard mode. But the developer already knew that we're going to need invincibility at some point, because they usually use that for debugging the game. So they need something like a guard mode to check whether things are going the right way, so they don't have to play the game to find out whether there are bugs or not. So we can use the same thing, and what usually GTA does is that they give you that in a cheat code kind of a thing. So I don't remember what the cheat code is, but I'll find it and I'll come back to you. Okay, so now I found the cheat code, and we could test it. But you could also tell me, like, why do you use it, or why do you use a script? Why do you have to make a script if you already were provided with a cheat code? Well, actually, you will be given like invincibility by just typing painkiller in here. And yes, but the invincibility is kind of limited. So you only get 5 minutes of invincibility, and after that it will get disabled. And you can't use it in main missions. So yeah, that's a bummer. So what do we do to actually work around this? Well, you came to the right video, because I'm going to show you how to make that thing. So I'll try to put painkiller again. It disables it, which is great. They provided us with the ability to activate the cheat and to disable the cheat, and that's great. So what we can do then is we could make a first scan for an unknown initial value, and then we go here and type painkiller, and we search for a changed value. We got all these results. I'm going to use hotkeys because it's easier. Unchanged, 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 unchanged. Just keep going like this. Then we go back again and we say, oh, it's unchanged still. And we put the painkiller and we say it changed.
2,000 years later.
So finally, guys, after all that mess, I came back to you with great information. So first, the invincibility effect, or the invincibility painkiller cheat, is actually activated by a number that is 5 once it's activated, and is 1 once it's deactivated. So let's search for it this way. So now I'm gonna go, since it's activated, gonna go for 5 and then deactivate it, and then it's 1, and we'd go for an unchanged now. Unchanged painkiller, and it goes to 5. This is the one. Oh. This is the one. Now, if I change this to 1 right now, it has to deactivate the invincibility cheat. Let's try. Now, indeed, it did. As you can see, I'm gonna try it again. 5, and there you go. It activates it, and it picks up the same time that was left. But this is not actually the thing that we need, because this is actually a wrapper around the actual invincibility effect. What this number does is that it activates the timer, it activates the notification that cheat has been activated. Also, it activates the invincibility effect. So we only need the invincibility effect, we only need that effect. Once we enter a mission, the game won't know whether we have the invincibility effect activated or not, because this number is going to be 1, which is deactivated. So to do that, I found that the invincibility effect is so close to your health address, and we can see it this way. So first, let me go to the script that we made about the infinite health, and then I'd copy the address of this script and I go to where I did the hook. So here I'd go and find out what accesses this address to find out my health. So it's 300 because I was writing 300 to my health, not 200. Anyways, so once we got the health address, we go to browse this memory region. Right click it and browse memory region. So right click in the memory view right here and change type, display type, to byte decimal. It's going to be easier for us to actually watch what's happening. Enlarge this area and scroll a little bit up, because once you are let's change the type here. Let's change it to float. Now we see that we have 300 right here, which is actually this one. So once we browse this memory region, it will take this memory address that we selected, and we'll put it just at the corner, just at the beginning of the screen. So we scroll a little bit up because it's a little bit above uh, the health. So let's change the type to keep this selected, and let's change the type to byte decimal. Now, what I'm going to do is go to this effect, the invincibility in, or let's call it painkiller effect. Okay, let's change this to 5. Did you see anything change in here? Look again. Now, I'm going to change this to 1. Oh, it didn't change. What happened? Okay, it changed right now. You see it? Now it deactivated it. So, I noticed that actually it is this one. So if I put this to, if I add this address to the list and call it whatever, we don't have to call it anything, but let's just keep it here. And we've noticed that it was 9 once it's activated. It's deactivated still. Still not activated. Now let's go 5. Still deactivated. Oh, I don't know why it's not changing, but okay, let's ignore this. Let's change this to 9. It was 9 and 0. It is 9 once it's activated, and it's 0 once it's not. Once it's deactivated. So to prove that to you, let me just use some. Oh hey, hello. Why are you afraid? They're also afraid. Oh, don't go away. Stop. Even when I kill the people in the car, they they keep going. Okay, let's look at this. I don't have anything activated right now, other than the 9 right here. As you can see, now I'm standing on top of the fire, and I'm not being affected by it. Once I change this to 0, look what happens to my character. You see? Let's change this to 9, and now I'm totally invincible. So that's it, guys. In order for you to find this thing, just let me stop this. In order for you to find this particular address, it's rather simple. So you either go and find it through browsing memory region, and you find out what's changing while you change the wrapper, or you could also type the cheat code in the game. Let me just get rid of the police because they are making so much noise. So you could also do it like this, where you type painkiller, and it will change every time you do it. So you can actually see what's happening if you are around your health memory address, and it's going to be a little bit above it. Most of the games will do the same thing. Most of the games, if they have an invincibility effect, they will put it so close to your health address. So this actually a good method to practice. Now, if you were about to make a script for the invincibility effect, it's pretty easy actually. What you can do is bring your health address, first bring up the calculator, and then put it into programmer mode and put it on hex. And what you should do is that you bring the health address, which is the bigger one, and you copy it and you paste it in the calculator. Then you subtract it from from the invincibility effect address. So let's put this one here and do this. So we've got F7. What is this going to help us with? Well, it's pretty easy. We can go to infinite health, the infinite health script that we made, and then we copy what we've done in here and then paste it on top of it. We delete the first bit and then we edit this part. So we got F7 in here, right? So we found out that the health address is actually ahead of the invincibility effect by F7. And how do we know if it's ahead or not? We browse the memory region, and then if we find this particular thing, wait, where is it? Okay, if we find that the other address is actually above it, then if it's above it in memory, then it's actually it's a smaller number, or it's behind it, and we can see it right here. It's pretty evident. So this is starting at DA9 and this is EA0, and E is ahead of D. What we can do is bring up this thing 280, and we already remember that it's F7. Subtract F7 from 280 and we get 189. We copy this number, we put it right here, and we put here 9, but we add something called byte PTR into this, and this is very important because this number is a byte and it's not 4 byte. By default it moves 4 byte into this address if we don't declare anything in here like byte or word or something like that. We're going to learn about these in later videos, but for now it's just like this. If you want the invincibility effect, there you got it. This is how you do it. Now what I do is just I click OK here and I just go to the infinite health. As you can see, this is the invincibility effect. Anyway, I'm not gonna type it. I'm gonna fail. So let's close this and go to infinite health. Look at this, it changes to 9. As easy as that. If you enjoyed this video, thank you very much, and see you in the next one.